Hello students, let's continue chapter 13th of science of class 7th, that is motion and time. In this video, we will study about speed and measurement of time. Students, you are familiar with the word speed. A higher speed seems to indicate that a given distance has been covered in a shorter time or a larger distance covered in a given time. The most convenient way to find out which of the two or more objects is moving faster is to compare the distances moved by them in a unit time. Thus, if we know the distance covered by two buses in 1 hour, we can tell which one is faster. We call the distance covered by an object in a unit time as the speed of the object. For example, if a car covers a distance of 100 kilometers in 1 hour and a bus covers a distance of 50 kilometers in 1 hour, then the speed of the car is more than the speed of the bus. Since the speed of most objects are not constant, the speed is the average speed. The speed calculated here is actually the average speed of the car. So for us, the speed is the total distance covered divided by the total time taken. So we use the formula to find out the speed is equal to total distance covered upon time taken. In everyday life, we seldom find objects moving with a constant speed over long distances or for long duration of time. If the speed of an object moving along a straight line keeps changing, its motion is said to be non-uniform. On the other hand, an object moving along a straight line with a constant speed is said to be in uniform motion. In this case, the average speed is the same as the actual speed. Students, we can determine the speed of a given object once we can measure the time taken by it to cover a certain distance. In class 6th, you have learnt how to measure distances, but how do we measure time? Let's find out. If you did not have a clock, how would you decide what time of the day it is? Have you ever wondered how our elders could tell the approximate time of the day by just looking at shadows? How do we measure time interval of a month or a year? Our ancestors noticed that many events in nature repeat themselves after defined intervals of time. For example, they found that the sun rises every day in the morning. The time between one sunrise and the next was called a day. Similarly, a month was measured from one new moon to the next. A year was fixed as the time taken by the earth to complete one revolution of the sun. Often we need to measure intervals of time which are much shorter than a day. Clocks or watches are perhaps the most common time measuring devices. Have you ever wondered how clocks and watches measure time? The working of clock is rather complex, but all of them make use of some periodic motion. One of the most well-known periodic motion is that of a simple pendulum. A simple pendulum has a small metallic bob suspended from a stand by a thread. Students, you can see in this figure. If the bob is taken to one side and released, it moves to and fro. The to and fro motion of the simple pendulum is called periodic motion or oscillatory motion. स्टूडेंट्स यू कैन सी इन दिस वीडियो कि जब हम बॉब को एक फिक्स पोजीशन पर आकर रिलीज़ करते हैं तो ये टू एंड फ्रो मोशन में मूव करता है. you can see in this video. एंड ये एक फिक्स पोजीशन पर आकर उधर से वापस आ जाएगा। तो ये जो पोजीशन है ये इसकी एक्सट्रीम पोजीशन है। देयर आर ए एंड बी आर टू एक्सट्रीम पोजीशन एंड जहाँ से ये स्टार्ट किया है वो इसकी मीन पोजीशन है। दिस इज मीन पोजीशन, दैट इज ओ। When the bob moves from the mean position O to A and to B and back to O, it is called an oscillation. Students, you can see in this figure, O is mean position and A and B are extreme position of bob. So students, the pendulum is said to have completed one oscillation when its bob, starting from its mean position O, moves to A, to B and back to O. The pendulum also completes one oscillation when its bob moves from one extreme position A to the other extreme position B and comes back to A. And the time taken by the pendulum to complete one oscillation is called its time period. To measure the time period of a simple pendulum, we will perform activity 13.2. Students, in this activity, we will set up a simple pendulum with a thread of length about 1 meter, move the bob to one side and release the bob. Measure the time taken to complete 20 oscillations using a stopwatch or stop clock. Record the observations in the table. Repeat the activity 3 times and record the observations. Find the time taken for one oscillation. Students, you will observe that the time period is nearly the same in all cases. The units of time and speed. The basic unit of time is a second. Its symbol is S. Larger units of time are minutes and hours. You already know how these units are related to one another. Students, what would be the basic unit of speed? The speed is a distance upon time. The basic unit of speed is meter per second. Of course, it could also be expressed in other units such as meter per minute or kilometer per hour. As you know that the symbols of all units are written in singular. So the basic unit of speed is meter per second and the larger unit of speed is kilometer per hour. Some ancient time measuring devices were sundials, water clocks and sand clocks. Many time measuring devices were used in different parts of the world before the pendulum clocks became popular. Sundials, water clocks and sand clocks are some examples of such devices. Different designs of these devices were developed in different parts of the world. Students, in your textbook on page number 147, there is an interesting story about the discovery that the time period of a given pendulum is constant. You might have heard the name of famous scientist Galileo Galilei. It is said that once Galileo was sitting in a church, he noticed that a lamp suspended from the ceiling with a chain was moving slowly from one side to the other. He was surprised to find that his pulse beat the same number of times during the interval in which the lamp completed one oscillation. Galileo experimented with various pendulums to verify his observation. He found that a pendulum of a given length takes always the same time to complete one oscillation. This observation led to the development of pendulum clocks. Winding clocks and wristwatches are refinements of the pendulum clocks. Students, this is the end of today's session. We will continue this chapter in next video. Up till then, thank you.